Good day, everyone. This is a little recap video of my year, my summer of 2025 in my 2024 Mustang GT. This first picture is the first start. I just put the new license plate on the car, and this was my first start back in April 3rd of the summer of 2025, or in the spring. Same day here, getting it out of the garage for the first time. Kind of hard to tell in the pictures, but the car is covered in dust. So like I did many times throughout the summer of 2024, the first trip in that car back on April 3rd was to the car wash. Hard to keep clean, this car. So there we are at the car wash getting it out. It was pretty dusty. Hard to keep clean. Spent all summer cleaning that thing. This is it in the driveway after coming back from the car wash, so looked a whole lot better than when we went out. April 3rd, the roads were pretty good. Snow was gone, so it was a pretty good day for driving. We took a little trip to the Kingston Peninsula, so just pulled over here on the side of the road with the river in the background. No leaves or anything on the trees yet. Stopped in Renforth on the way back. Took a walk in towards the water, so there's the car parked in the parking lot. The next picture is the first night of the Valley Cruisers. For you guys that were there, remember the cars were covered in pollen. You can see it pretty good there on the back trunk. They were a mess that night. Here's that exact same night at the Rosse Superstore.
That is a nice car.
A couple of the Mustang group in the background. Here we are sitting here with our Starbucks. Great place to have a car show with a Starbucks behind it. Here it is again, same night. I believe it's the same night anyway. This here can't remember where that is. I fell in love with the pink drink over the summer. Judge me if you want to, but they are delicious. This is the day we went solo down to La Pro Falls. So there's Christine and I with the falls in the background, and there are the falls. We just took a drive. I think that was around April 11th. We ended up in St. Andrews that day also, so there we are down there on the main road of St. Andrews. Here's another Valley Cruisers night. We usually always parked in the same spot or in that same vicinity. There is Alex and Wanda coming in the Thunderbird. They were at a lot of events that we were at all summer long. The Mustangs in the background. So there's Alex about to park that thing, back it in, which was not an easy car to back up, I'm assuming. This one here is an early morning meeting at the Dolan Road, Irving, to do a cruise. I believe, I can't remember where we were going that day. That might have been the day we went to Amherst. But a lot of the same group, all that stuck together all year long. Yeah, this was the morning we met at the Dolan Road, Irving, to go to Amherst for the Maritime Mustang run. Here we are pulled over, still at the Irving, Dolan Road, Irving. Frank and Dana and Troy and Tim and a lot of people were there. Alex and Wanda, Brent, of course, Jackie, Rose, Ross and Margaret. Here we are somewhere, maybe Norton, pulling into the Shell gas station. Excuse me if I can't remember where we were or where it's located, or the type of car, year of car, that kind of stuff. But they're all Mustangs, I know that. There's Brent coming in hot. Love the look of that car with the red and the beige. So we stopped here for a little break on the way to Moncton to meet more. Dana coming in, Tim coming in. Here we are in at the same place at the Shell gas station. We left there and we headed to Moncton. This is in the McDonald's parking lot. Mountain Road, close to Magic Mountain. There we are again. We met a few more there, I believe, and then we hit the road and headed for Amherst, Nova Scotia. So this here would be us pulling into the road that goes to Taylor Ford in Amherst. I was following Doug the whole way. Jackie was behind me. I remember her saying that she loved the sound of the car. It was a beautiful day. That was June 14th. Great day. Here's a little video of, there's Frank's car there at Taylor Ford in Amherst, just some of the Mustangs that were there. I can't remember the exact number now, but I think there was around 150 there in total. I like the chrome rims on that one. Silver rims and silver mirrors on that car. I really liked it. You can't go wrong with white. Something about a white car. Great day in Amherst. There's Mustangs leaving. I turned the sound off on these videos to do the voiceover, so you can't hear the car, but there it goes. The next picture is Christine and somebody who was part of the summer. That is Dixie Lee, the dog. She was at every event pretty much also. Alex and Wanda's dog. This is the divider that I got for the convertible to help with the wind inside the car. So everybody told me to get one. So I got one. And here I am again in a car wash. Spent most of my summer at the car wash. Valley Cruisers again. This is the day that I went to Complex Union. That was July 5th. I am parked here, waiting to get in. There was a few Mustangs there. There's more of them coming. So this was my car, parked in the TD station parking lot. Probably the cleanest it was all summer was on that day. I spent a lot of time, for some reason, getting the car ready for this show. Probably just to keep up with all the young guys that were there. So here's a bunch of pictures of Mustangs and videos of Mustangs that were there at that show. So this car, of course, is mine. And that one is also mine. I guess you always take the most pictures of your own car. Silver one inside. That's a pretty nice car. I like that one. This one here was pretty cool looking. Had the ground fix kit around the bottom. You could almost stand on the ground effects on that thing with the gray lights in the back. Cambered wheels and lowered. Not for everybody, I guess, but it looked okay. Jason's car here. We all say that we have street legal race cars. This thing here is an actual race car. It is a beautiful Mustang with the Whipple supercharger. Nice car. Everybody loves that thing. I really like this one, the old one. Not going to try to guess the year. Red with the black roof. Beautiful looking car. That was probably my favorite car in that whole show. One of the oldest and definitely my favorite. There's mine again and again. And then we had a purpley, pinky kind of car here. American Muscle on the window. The lowered cambered wheel white Mustang again. Be hard to drive around St. John, but good looking car. The day later, or a day later, the next day on Sunday, we went to the very first annual Ponies in the Park at the old Centricare site, Wollastook Park on the west side. So there's the banner. There's Ross's Roush, red Roush, with the autograph under the engine compartment. It's a beautiful looking car. Love that color. Russell's white car with the red stripes. The hood scoop is now gone and the red stripes have been redone. Really like the look of that car. It's a beautiful car. There's Russell parked beside Victor's car. Troy's car on the right, blacked out. Beautiful looking car, sounds great. And there's Alex and myself and Ross again. There's Victor's car. Got a lot of attention. It's a beautiful car. I mentioned earlier Brent's car. Just love that look with the red and the beige roof. It's a beautiful car. One of my favorites. Troy's car again. Not going to try to guess the year and the style and all that stuff. Frank's car, the blue. We love the blue. Everybody loved the blue. It got a lot of comments all summer long. I love that blue car, they would say. There he is parked in front of the banner. We all got our pictures taken in front of the banner. Of all the videos and pictures that I took over the summer, and there were thousands of them, this is my absolute favorite video, probably of all time. Victor coming around in that white Mustang. It's timeless. It could have been 1970 or it could have been 2050. It's beautiful. I love it. The following weekend, we headed for Moncton for the 25th Atlantic Nationals. So this would be on the Wednesday night. We were at the Action Truck Caps. There's one of the Mustangs that were there. The next one, the yellow one, the clutch went that thing right there in that position, so that ended up going in the tow truck, but it's a beautiful car. This little thing here, I love that. There was a red one and a black one that looked identical. One of my favorites. This would be the next morning for the breakfast. Couldn't get parked at the Lions Club, so we parked in some random mall down the street. And here is the Lions Club breakfast with some of the cars from the car show. This would be before they did the mystery cruise. Next car needs no introduction. Bo and Luke Duke driving the General Lee. This would be us parked in front of the Delta Hotel, checking in for the weekend after the breakfast. For the Friday all-day show, I left my car parked in the parking lot at the Delta, so it was involved in the car show, but not on the actual street. So there it is there in the Delta parking lot. There is my window sticker, registered at number 31. It was the 55th wedding anniversary of Alex and Wanda, so there they are in front of the Thunderbird with the balloons. And there is the T-Bird, parked on Main Street in Moncton. There was a big street party that night, so if you take a good look at this picture, almost every single person in there is on their phone, which is kind of funny, but it was a good night that night. This was the next day on Saturday at the park, Centennial Park. I was parked in a group of a bunch of Mustangs right beside a dirt road, so you can imagine what my car looked like by the end of the day. I watched it turn brown as the day went on. This is Saturday night after the street cruise. This is parked beside the Avenir Center. This would be in the parking lot of the Delta Hotel the next morning before we left. Back to the same spot. We were there early on Sunday morning. No other cars around yet, but parked in the same spot and dirty again all day long. There's Alex and Wanda again. We met up with them quite a bit over the weekend. This will be back to Valley Cruisers again. This is July 23rd when we first met Roy's Mach 1. Love that car. Beautiful. Here's another Roy with his white Shelby with the blue stripes. Very good looking car. The next one is Alex and Wanda's Legend Lime. Don't want to get that wrong. The black stripes going up the middle. My car with the bronze rims and the red Brembo brake calipers. Just love that look of the bronze and the red and the black together. Frank's car again with the wheels always turned. We love that blue. This would be at Valley Cruisers also. This would be on July 27th. We met at the Grand Bay Foodland for a little run to Evandale. So there's myself with Frank, Chuck and Michelle parked beside Frank, and Alex's car is there also. There's Blair's black Mustang with the red stripe going across the hood. Unique look. Love the look of that. It's really cool looking. Red stripe up and over. The next one is when we're at the Evandale Inn, parked on the grass. We met some of the guys from Fredericton, and some of the people from Sussex came down also. So the public had a good time looking at the cars that day. There's myself and Ross. And here we are again, all lined up. The Mafia plate is Frank from Sussex. It's a good looking car. Portrait shot before we hit the ferry, so I'm behind Alex here on the ferry. I saw that it's 1970 again a lot throughout the summer. Here we are lined up early in the morning on the Grand Bay Highway. This is when we went to Fredericton Junction. It was a good day that day. Really hot up there. Some nice Mustangs. That was a good one. This one here was my favorite. Just something about that style. I absolutely love it. Here's that white one again with the hood up. And then our man Fred won the 3rd place award for his white one with the blue stripe. So we were all pretty happy for him that day. It was a really good time. It was very unexpected for him, but well deserved. There's my car parked up there. Parked beside Tim. Here we are again on the side of the Grand Bay Highway. This is the next day when we went to Heartland, which was a long day. There's Doug and Frank behind them. A lot of cars up there. We thought we had a lot of Mustangs until the Corvette Club showed up. There was a lot of them there. But it was a great day. We can say that we all took a walk through the longest covered bridge in the world from one end to the other. Most of us did that, I believe, or all of us. So we all went over and all came back. There's a pano shot of all the cars. And of course, the Southern New Brunswick Mustang Owners Club banner also made an appearance in Heartland for that day. The next one is one of the early morning, Saturday morning meetings at Downey Ford to get ready for the Marilyn Williams car show. This is my car outside Downey's. And then this is a picture I took for the Marilyn Williams video. So on August 23rd, a bunch of us, just random car lovers and Mustang drivers, we got together and we put on a pretty decent car show, I would say. Over 100 cars there, so this is the setup early in the morning at McAllister Place. Turned out to be a really good day, really good turnout. Lots of the public showed up. There's myself and Wanda's car and Alex's car. Here is Ross and Roy and Frank and Dana. Frank's truck was next with the banner on the back. He made that, did a great job, and it served its purpose that day for sure. There's Roy's car again. One of my favorite Mustangs. I love it. Something about a white Mustang. There's Dana's car. Love the look of a white Mustang. White car in general. There's Victor's car, another one in the background. That's the reason why we were all there with the Her GT license plate for Maryland. Roy's car, white Mustang with the blue stripes. Beautiful looking Shelby. That was at a lot of places we were at this year also. This red one with the black stripes is absolutely darling. Love the look of that car. Something about red and black. This truck here belonged to Maria. Got a lot of attention. An old Ford in really good shape. It was to a few different events also. There's another red and white Mustang. One of my favorite pictures of the summer also is Victor standing beside Marilyn's car. The reason why we were all there that day. Here's the cleanup. Christine picking up all the flags. Frank's truck in the background. Johnson helping out. Here's a picture of us all, minus Tim and minus Brent. I wish we could go back in time and have them both in that picture and have a different view of the picture. The sun in the background didn't help Alex and Wanda on the T-Bird. This will be my only appearance at Monday Night Mustangs because of work commitments, but this one came down from Sussex. It was a really nice car. There's Scott's car and Troy beside him. Love that color. It's a beautiful looking car with the bronze rims also. Troy's car again, blacked out. This yellow Shelby showed up. Very good looking car. Here's a bunch of us together. Dana, Scott, Troy, Alex. There's Tim's. Apologize if I don't know who some of them belong to. Nice looking car there. This next one also sounded very good. This guy taking off. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the sound or not, but if you can't, trust me, it sounded really good when he left. There he goes, leaving McAllister Place to hit the road, and when he took off at the light, I didn't get the full send. I wish I would have now, but it sounded really good, and he took off like a bullet. There's Tim leaving, going down Westmoreland. Frank's up next, taking off behind the red one. This was later in the year, so it was getting darker out earlier. This is early morning on a Saturday, September 10th. We were going to Rockwood Park for rides at Rockwood. So there's Roy and myself, Frank and Scott, Carvel. There we all are lined up. Paulo, myself, Roy. Alex showed up later on with the banner, so there's the banner. Here's a few more Mustangs farther down, closer to the beach. They were around all summer also. There's the yellow one again. Here's a back view of us, and there's Paulo taking off. Beautiful looking car there, red and gray. All the way down from Sussex. Here we are again. This would be for the final Valley Cruisers show, the big show, I guess, the big all-day long show. So we had some visitors down from Sussex. Frank's car, Paulo, there's Alex and Wanda. Doug and Denise. Here we all are getting there. There's that yellow Shelby again, and Roy pulling in. This one was around all summer at Valley Cruisers, 70 Mach 1. And we're all just standing around. This would be the Lorneville. We met at Lorneville Tim Hortons, and we headed to Charlotte County that day. So there's a bunch of us there. Paulo, Alex, Frank, myself, Dana, Michelle and Chuck, Brent. Or not Brent, sorry, Blair, Frank and Dana. Christine making a video from the passenger seat. We met Dave in Chance Harbor, so here we are lined up at his place. And again, down on the wharf now in Dipper Harbor. There wasn't a whole lot of videos of me driving this year because I was the guy that was always taking the pictures or making the videos, but that was me there. Chuck and Michelle being in the front, Paulo backing in. That was another good day. My hometown was Little Pro, originally where I'm from, so when you're in a place like this with the wharf and the boats, it kind of brings back a lot of memories of childhood and makes you feel like you're closer to home. So it was a good day for me for sure. A lot of memories down there. Just the smell, seaweed, the ocean, stinking old fishing boats. So I'll come up now and back in beside Chuck. Roof down that day, it was absolutely beautiful. Look at the sky in the background, not a cloud anywhere. We all sat there for a bit, took a bunch of pictures, walked around, stretched out, and then we left and we headed for La Pro Falls. So there's a couple pictures here from La Pro Falls, and then we headed down into St. George. Out of respect for Mr. McKay, we went to Lester McKay's, and I didn't take any pictures, and if you were there that day, you'll understand why. You had to see it for your own eyes to believe it. The people that were there were just amazed at what was on his property, so hopefully we'll get back to that again. This was when everybody went to Elma, or some people went to Elma, I guess, but we couldn't make it that day, and then eventually we could, so we took off and kind of met up with some up there, stopped and had a chat for a little bit, and then headed back home. So this is in Elma, New Brunswick. This would be closer to the end of September. And then the next picture would be when I put the car away. It's back in the garage for the winter. So this here would be, I think this would be on Halloween, October 31st. The car is gone, and we'll see it again in the spring. So it was a great year. I took a lot of time off, tried to do as much as I could. Didn't do as much as everybody else did, but tried to be heavily involved as much as possible. Took a lot of videos, took a lot of pictures, and I thank you all for a great year. It was absolutely fantastic.